defence looking to keep themselves onside this time. Again, the Boroughmuir Bears hammering away. Jack Fisher alongside Josh King, the second row pairing for the Boroughmuir Bears this evening. A little kick through by Callum Ram. That's been tidied up by the Warriors, but once again, that's another penalty to Boroughmuir. And Rory Swan, a little think about a quick tap and go. I think they will just again have another go from the line out.
Yeah, and it was Warriors infringed at that line out, just given the signals there of Ian Kenny, the referee, that they took the Boroughmuir line out jumper in the air, didn't get back to ground. And so with the free ball, as it's called, Boroughmuir had the chance putting that little grubber kick through. Warriors defended it well, but and the overthrow from Boroughmuir on that occasion.
Just a little bit too much on that, fingertips to it, but it's come back on the Glasgow Warriors side, and once again they look to run out of their 22. They've certainly come here to play rugby. And Sean Kennedy now just does a look up and realises the space in behind and finds a good touch on the stand side of the pitch.
That's an outstanding clearance from Sean Kennedy, just smart play. And the overthrow from Boroughmuir Bears, they'll be disappointed having had that period of pressure on the Warriors line not to come away with points. Glasgow will be delighted with their defence and the opportunities presented to clear his lines. It's an excellent kick from Sean Kennedy.
Corey Tate finds his captain, Craig Keddy, at the front of the line out. Rory Swan asking for the ball, and he just sends it deep into the 22. Chased back by Logan Jarvie. I think that one's just got a little bit too much in it.
Rory Swan, that he did well to get it over the top of Logan Jarvie, playing on the wing for Warriors. Do you think actually if the rugby ball had bounced in one of its mysterious ways, they could have got the 50-22, it could have bounced into touch, but instead it just kicked on and on. And in the end it's come to nothing, and it's given the Warriors a pretty good attacking position. Backs will be looking forward to maybe trying to run some sort of strike play off this scrum, but dependent on the forwards getting the ball, dependent on the set piece being accurate.
We played 9 minutes here at Meggetland. It's still Glasgow Warriors with a 7-0 lead. Gregor Brown, the try scorer, big Aberdonian number 8. He's played some rugby for the Bears in Super 6. Conversion by Weir from out wide. The referee just having a quick word with the two front rows. A late change in the Glasgow Warriors front row. Ollie Kebble dropping out and Jamie Drummond promoted from the bench. He's alongside Angus Fraser and Murphy Walker. And they're up against Ian Carmichael, who's promoted from the bench this week, Corey Tate and Martin McGinley. It's Sean Kennedy, the Warriors captain. Kennedy not happy with that, referee not happy with that.
No, the forwards first scrum engagement of the day. Both sides trying to get the upper hand. Also both sides trying to get in the ref's ear and make sure it's them that are perfectly legal and fair, and it's always the opposition that are infringing, bringing the scrum down.
You spent a fair bit of time standing beside a scrum, so you'll know a bit about it.
I know a bit about standing beside them, thinking why on earth would you do that, but the dark arts are kept very secret from the front row. They like to suggest that they're really important because of it. Good scrum though from Warriors.
Yeah, and fired out into the midfield, taken by Duncan Mann, another Boroughmuir Bear wearing Glasgow colours tonight. And then Duncan Weir thinks he sees space in behind, but that's been well read over on the far side by Callum Ram, who calls for a mark. Just sends that long into Warriors half, not looking to find a touch, and Duncan Weir looks to shift play across to the stand side, kicked ahead by Duncan Munn. A little bit of an aimless kick, and then Rory Swan sends it back for the Bears, and away goes Logan Jarvie. Quick ball here for the Warriors, looking to attack down the other side of the pitch. Amina Kakasau now trying to skip his way through a tackle, dragged down just on the Bears side of halfway, and then through come the Bears defence, trying to hold that one up. And I think they may well succeed. I see Josh King in there, his arms wrapped round it, and he does indeed succeed in winning the turnover.
Good recognition there. The ball just loose at the back of the breakdown. Sean Kennedy not able to get the ball away. Boroughmuir just wrap him up, make sure that he can't get to ground. Because he can't get to ground, held up in a maul, means it's the defence ball. Interesting Glasgow kicking. Obviously they had an attack from deep that they scored off in the very first phase of the game, but since then just looking at a little bit more territory, just trying to turn the Boroughmuir Bears and just attacking from all points of the pitch.
Guys, this is our second scrum.
Again, needing at least 2 attempts to get this scrum. And Rory Swan will be the man to feed. He's got Tom Quinlan once again alongside him, the Irishman, the half-back pairing. Scott Robson and Kerr Johnston in the centres for Boroughmuir. And Joe Jenkins out here on the stand side wing. Mason Cullen in his first start on the right wing, and Callum Ram moving from wing to fullback this week. The free kick awarded to Boroughmuir Bears. They quickly try and shift that wide, a little bit of a loose pass, but Callum Ram has taken it and carries the ball up over halfway. Ben Salmon this time trying to hold him up. As Ram tries to get a knee to deck, gets the ball back. Now the forwards have a go, and it's Ian Carmichael. We said Prop takes that one into contact. They're back in their own half now, but keeping it in the hands out the back by Josh King, and then the Bears look to kick it long. What will the Warriors do from here? That's a loose pass, hasn't been knocked on. Under pressure now, Bears defence can't quite get their man, and nice little flick out the back door, and away once more comes Duncan Munn up over his own 10-metre line. Play just on the stand side of the pitch, and Kerr Johnston asking the question, is that out? And the referee says no. Angus Fraser again gives it to the backs, and the vice captain Ali Millar. Across field, but it's still Warriors in possession, just probing for spaces, and they find one, and away goes Amina Kakis out, looking to use some footwork, looks for support, pulls it back to Kennedy. And the Bears defence having to work hard to get themselves reset. There's a man down in the Mun, I think, so the Warriors playing with 14 men. Striding into contact there, Alex Samuel up into the 22. A little tip on pass, couldn't be taken cleanly though by Angus Fraser, and the referee spots a knock on in there. So once again going from their own 22, not quite able to get across that Bears try line.
Great recognition of where the space is from Glasgow Warriors, and the bounce pass that so often it catches a defence out. It just makes the defence check, and I think it's Logan Jarvie that does really well to get on the outside of the Bears attack. Lovely little out the back offload to Duncan Munn, who is unfortunately still on the ground, so he's nursing a sore one. And Warriors do well going through the phases, getting up the field, but I think that's the ending to the move is the frustration for Pete Horn and the coaches, similar to what they were talking about after last week's game. They did a lot of good, but just not managing to finish off, not managing to take those opportunities.
And Duncan Munn not looking particularly healthy, he's back up on his feet. So the Warriors have turned that ball over though at the scrum, and this pick up from the base there by Gregor Brown, and he's over the line. Has he been held up? The referee on the spot, and he does say it's been held up. Good work by Gregor Brown, but good work likewise by the Bears defence.
Yeah, big scrum from Glasgow Warriors, turning the ball over, as we see that Duncan Munn's not going to continue on this game. He's looking in a lot of discomfort, but yeah, good carry from Gregor Brown off the back of the scrum. Recognised that there was space in front of him, the defence drifting out, thinking he's going to make that pass. He doesn't, but the scramble defence from the Bears is outstanding. Managed to hold him up over the line.
We'll take silence as we're good to go. Time on. Behind the kicker, guys, please.
So the enforced change for Glasgow Warriors, Duncan Munn, this year's Scotland Under-20s co-captain, and aligned to the Bears previously in the Super 6. And he's replaced by Aminio Bogadrau, another youngster, only 18 or 19. Penalty to Boroughmuir Bears, a chance for them to clear their lines here from just outside the 22.
Again, really good work at the breakdown from the Bears, just was a big carry from Ewan Ferry. I think the Warriors open side almost just made it too obvious that he was going into the carry, tucked the ball. It was a big contact from Bears, winning the turnover but missing touch.
Yes, that's a loose kick, just invites the Warriors to attack them again, and once more just threw the hands out into this right touchline. Logan Jarvie takes it into contact, 18-year-old winger, played in the Scotland under-20s this year, and then in acting as scrum half, and once more the forwards just giving it to the backs and looking to go coast to coast. That's a nice flat ball to Amina Kakasau. We've already seen his footwork, but he's been dealt with well there. Throws a loose pass to his opposite number, and away go Boroughmuir Bears. That was an important tackle there by Gregor Brown. Brought that Bears attack to a halt briefly, but possession still with the Bears on the Warriors 10-metre line. They thought about kicking it there, but Tristan Andrews, missed pass out to the wing here, and Joe Jenkins, the Australian, former Wales Sevens player. Pick and go again by Andrews. Out to Quinlan, behind the forwards. Callum Ram. Shift the ball out into the midfield. King in there again to clear that one out. Not going anywhere for now, and Ram decides to put that ball in behind. Bounces up kindly for Sean Kennedy. And just bangs that one into touch over on the far side of the pitch.
Yeah, it's quite harem-scarum at times, isn't it? Yeah, you think Kakasau doing really well down that far side, and then throwing another loose offload.
Time off, guys. Put a man down.
And then Boroughmuir just going through a couple of phases but not managing to get any sort of real territory. Warriors defence, once it's set, once the that initial turnover, I think that's probably the biggest chance, or the best chance that Boroughmuir will have to score, because once they go through a couple of phases, it looks like it's going to be very difficult for them to break down this Warriors defence.
It's a short break for water, and back to the action. Bears line out. They've had one overthrow from a dangerous position. Tate finds his man there, Tristan Andrews. Well, it's Tristan Andrews carries into contact now, takes play just over halfway. Referee playing an advantage, so again a free ball. Captain Craig Kerry takes that one into contact. Again, ball out the back, and there could be space down this left touchline for Joe Jenkins. Cuts back inside as well to stay in the field of play. Jarvie tries to turn that one over, to strip the ball. And the referee was playing an advantage, and he will head over again to the far side of the pitch. But Boroughmuir Bears slowly working themselves into this game.
Yeah, they're firing a few shots at Warriors. Glasgow discipline, just giving away unnecessary penalties. That high tackle on that occasion, I think it just allows Boroughmuir to get some decent field position, on the assumption that Quinlan does make touch this time. She makes absolutely no mistake, having missed it the kick before. So yeah, a good attacking position, and I do feel that Boroughmuir have kind of worked their way into the game. Obviously the worst possible start for them, conceding pretty much off the kick-off, but since then they've matched the physicality of the Warriors. Now in a good position to see if they can kick on and get some points. Another overthrow indeed, and it comes back in the Warriors side. They look dangerous from here. Bogadrau getting his first touch of the ball out to Jarvie. He just had to wait on that one coming, which allowed his opposite number Joe Jenkins to come up and make the tackle and kill that move. Nice little tip on ball there. I think the Bears were expecting that, out the back, and away goes the try scorer Brown. Ball goes loose, referee playing an advantage. And away across there goes Tom Quinlan to tidy that one up, touch that down. And the referee indicating that it will be a goal line dropout. Yeah, great break from Brown. And in fairness, I think it's Scott McGinley, the Boroughmuir Bears open side, that gets in the way of the offload. What about the support from Jamie Drummond, the Warriors' loose head prop? That he's the one that fly hats on and chases after it, but can't quite get there ahead of Quinlan. The Bears fly half gets the ball grounded so he can get the line drop out. It's a good attacking position for Warriors again. Again
bounces up into the arms of Sean Kennedy, and he just gives it to Ewan Ferry. who's played in Bears colours in Super 6 previously. Again, ball out the back to Weir. There's a bit of space in front of him. Instead gives it to Ali Millar, the vice captain, and he just strides right through the middle of the Bears defence and touches down under the posts for the second Warriors try of the evening.
An excellent change of line from Ali Millar. Just a big, powerful, he's got a lot of pace to him as well. Duncan Weir does well just to engage that defender, and that step off the right foot just gets him away from the Bears defence. They're then scrambling to try and make that tackle. It's just Duncan Weir taking a couple of extra steps, drawing a defender, creating the half space, and that's all Ali Millar needs. Played a bit on the sevens circuit as well, so he knows his way to the try line. Got a bit of space, he's going to exploit it. And that's a good score from the Warriors.
Well, it's taken 20 minutes from their opening score. Gregor Brown going over, converted by Weir from out wide. That one much easier for Duncan Weir, adds the extras. And it's Boroughmuir Bears 0, Glasgow Warriors 14.
Clinical attack from Glasgow Warriors when they've got half a sniff of the try line. They manipulate the defence really well, and then they've got the pace and the power to finish it off.
What's interesting, I think the Warriors have typically been just pulling out the back of their forward pods, and oh, away we go. Josh King has got his hands on that. Up goes the flag. It was a mistake from the restart by Glasgow Warriors, just about opening things up for the Bears, but they're not hanging about here. Quick throw in. Right, it goes to the new man, Boggardrout. Steps back inside into contact. Bears defence looking to race up and put pressure. Alex Samuel just pulls that back to Duncan Weir, and again just finding space. Jarvie again bouncing out of a couple of tackles. The youngster, just 18 years old. Both wingers looking very confident given their youthful age. And Jamie Drummond crashes into contact there, and Sean Kennedy sends one up. Maybe doesn't go as far as he intended, but it's tapped back and picked up by Alex Samuel, looking for support. Quick ball here, and there goes Angus Fraser to the scrum half, and the speed with which they can get it from side to side really challenging this Boroughmuir Bears defence. And ghosting through again, dragged down just a metre short. Boroughmuir Bears piling to that, trying to rescue the situation, but the referee on the spot, and shown a yellow card for trying to see who he's shown that to, but the Bears down to 14, so they managed to snuff out the try, but illegally so. And you see Colin, who has been shown the yellow card.
I think it might have been Mason Cullen. It might be the Bears' right winger, but it's a great attack from Warriors. As you said, Bruce, when they recognise the space out wide, the quality of the passes, not breaking stride. I think it's Townsend that's playing fullback tonight, that's really close to scoring. It is a good last-ditch tackle from the Boroughmuir Bears, but they then infringe. They're then illegal to try and stop the next phase for Warriors, which may well have led to a score. As it is, Warriors, Duncan Weir no doubt will dink this into the corner. They're pretty dangerous from all time, 5 metres out.
I think it was Cullen that has been shown the yellow card, so the Bears down to 14 men for the next 10 minutes. That'll be the Boroughmuir Bears forwards that have got to do the hard work here. The Warriors have already scored from an identical position. Samuel, no surprise, the target there. Good hit by the Bears defence. Hold that one up initially. Now the Warriors just starting to get some go forward. The referee playing an advantage. It goes to deck. But they've got themselves over that try line. The referee, a close look, says no try. That he was playing an advantage, and the Warriors will have another crack at it.
No, I didn't see it. No. I saw it knock on for me.
Boroughmuir Bears, they'll take that as a small victory that they didn't concede. As Warriors do get the momentum going forward, it's difficult to tell whether that was or was not grounded, but Ian Kenny, the referee, saying it wasn't.
The infringement was at the
And
line.
as a result, penalty to Warriors, back to the line out, and they'll try again.
So Angus Fraser, I imagine may well just go to Alex Samuel again. He does indeed, why not, when he's 6'9". Again, a good hit by the Bears, with a rather spin off to the left there, which just opens the route up to the try line for the Warriors, just inching their way forward towards the try line. So it'll be very hard to stop. The referee's arm does go up. And again, we'll give the credit to the Warriors, the power of the Warriors forwards. We'll see who comes up last. Angus Fraser, the hooker, I think, the man who has scored that one.
So often the case at the back of the line-out maul is the hooker that's thrown the ball in. He then steer the ship from the rear of that maul, and it's a well-executed line-out from Glasgow Warriors. Again, just the accuracy of the throw, the jump, and then technically how strong they are with each of the... It's just well drilled, isn't it? They know exactly what they're doing in that situation. They don't panic. They just maintain that patience, that composure, back themselves to be technically strong enough, to be big and physical and powerful enough to get over the line.
Yeah, perhaps one of the big differences between the professional side and the semi-professional side. Boroughmuir have had a couple of opportunities from similar positions and not been able to make anything from it. Warriors, in contrast, very clinical. 2 tries from the same position. Gregor Brown and Angus Fraser going over in the same corner from the line-out maul.
Yeah, just back in their execution, isn't it? That knowing that even if they're under pressure, that Angus Fraser's throw is going to be on the money, and whether it's Alex Samuel or another of the forwards is going to be up and getting the line-out secured, and then it's just the patience and the belief that they're going to get over the line.
Duncan Weir certainly brought his kicking boots tonight. It's his 3rd conversion. And away go the Warriors again from the restart. This time it's Ali Millar once more. Finds Jamie Drummond, the late replacement for Ollie Kebble. And just like that, the Warriors are back inside the Boroughmuir Bears 22. However, ball lost there, snapped up by Josh King. Tristan Andrews takes that into contact, just looking to set up a position for the Bears to exit from. Rory Swan, Quinlan standing directly behind him. Swan takes on kicking duties himself and finds a good touch down the stand side touchline.
Great watching Jamie Drummond a couple of times. He's been in the open prairies. Looks like he's having a whale of a time out there.
Ali Millar this time the target in the line out, and once more the Warriors just go through 2 or 3 sets of hands. Jarvie popping up off his right wing over on the left, trying to find Amina Kakis out. A loose pass. As we said, they look dangerous. We can see the game plan is just to stretch this Bears defence and go from coast to coast, and the Bears struggling to cope with it.
Yeah, with great recognition from Warriors as well that Boroughmuir Bears right wingers in the sin bin, so that the space is going to be out wide, and it's just that last pass. I mean, the initial play was brilliant. It created the opportunity out wide, but Jarvie's pass didn't quite go to hand. So again, just frustration, but they can take a lot of heart from how they manipulated that Bears defence.
The line-out wasn't exactly as the Bears had intended, but it did come back on their side, and once more a chance for Rory Swan to move play a little further upfield. Might have liked a bit more on that. Let's allowed the Bears chasers to make the tackle. Back it comes to Weir. Once more, just sees space in behind there and just rolls that ball beautifully into touch. Could not have been any more pinpoint accurate, just on the right side of the corner flag. And I wasn't sure if that was a 50-22, but that's the only thing he didn't quite manage there. He was on the wrong side of the halfway, so it will be a Bears throw-in, but a fantastic kick by Weir.
Yeah, I think he was the right side, but the breakdown had been in the Boroughmuir Bears half, so because it was passed back, it didn't count. So Warriors don't get the put into the line-out, but again, just smart execution from Duncan Weir, knowing that Boroughmuir are a man down in that backfield, and just work out where the space is. Line out creaking again for Boroughmuir.
Loose ball again by Tate. It's the Warriors in possession, just 2 or 3 metres short of that Boroughmuir Bears try line. Kennedy forwards out waiting, a little tip on pass there. It's a good tackle. Quick ball. Again, it's a great line there.
Ewan Ferry, I think.
Yeah, Ewan Ferry, a former Boroughmuir Bear, crashes over under the posts for the 4th try. 30 minutes played here at Meggetland. It's Boroughmuir Bears 0, Glasgow Warriors A 26.
Really simple, really effective rugby. Just the accuracy with which the Warriors are playing just now, being very clinical when in position to get points. They're taking them. It's just a really clever line from Ewan Ferry. He's kind of coming out and then back in, so he's almost not coming on the angle that the forwards, the defence are expecting. I mean, catches the kind of the blind shoulder of the Boroughmuir defence, and running at that pace, that close to the line, is going to be difficult to stop.
Again, the simplest of conversions for Duncan Weir. Takes the score out to a healthy looking 28-0 advantage to the Warriors. A team, 4 tries. Gregor Brown, Ali Millar, Angus Fraser and Ewan Ferry now going over for the visitors. Took them 20 minutes after scoring their first try to get their second as Boroughmuir Bears worked their way into the game. But the Warriors really taking control of it now as we into the last 10 minutes before half time. And once more just attacking down that right flank. Away goes Kakasau. Skips through 2 or 3 tackles, takes play just about up to halfway. Bears still minus a right winger. And once more 2 or 3 passes just to go from one touchline to the other, and the space is open up in front of Brown, looking to get the ball into one hand and try and find his winger Jarvie, but instead finds the Bears left winger Joe Jenkins, but he's bundled into touch, and it will be a Warriors throw-in on the Bears 22.
Yeah, it's good rugby to watch, isn't it? Just the ambition that Warriors are showing, that they're really making Boroughmuir pay for getting the man sent to the sin bin, recognising that there will be space out wide, and making big yards, and maybe getting a wee bit carried away with some of the offloads, but the follow-up defence to bundle Boroughmuir back into touch so they get the line out and on the attack again.
Away they go, ball back inside, and over goes Sean Kennedy, the captain. Lovely ball inside by Duncan Weir, but a forward pass. It would have been a lovely score.
Yeah, it's a real shame again, isn't it? Just the execution, smart play, training ground move, I think, from Glasgow Warriors. Difficult to tell on that angle, but I guess we're going to have to give referee Ian Kenny the benefit of the doubt that he's got that right. He's right in line with it. So yeah, just execution not quite on point on that occasion for the Warriors.
Halfbacks combining nicely as to put Sean Kennedy in, but forward pass. Great drive at the scrum by Glasgow Warriors, but the referee spotted an infringement over on that far side as he looked to drive the Bears off their own ball for the second time in this match, and a chance for Boroughmuir Bears to clear their lines. It's not a huge amount of distance on that kick, but they will have the throw into the line out down in front of us here.
I'll speak to the next stoppage.
Yeah, it's important Boroughmuir just try and get a bit of ball again. The last 10-15 minutes have just been blown off the park, so now just get a chance to get their line out. Good execution, so just go through a few phases. Oh, that's disappointing for them.
Looking to simplify the line out, and Corey Tate finding Craig Keddy at the front, but then the ball knocked on, I think, with Tristan Andrews as they went out. It was under a huge amount of pressure.
That's Mason Cullen returning to the fray though, so they're back to 15. Yeah, Warriors have really made them pay for that. It's just little incidents like that, isn't it? The basic, the unforced errors, the overthrow a couple of line-outs, that Glasgow just haven't done that, whereas Boroughmuir have, and it just means they don't get the chance to build any pressure, don't get themselves back into this game quite yet.
Collapsing.
The penalty this time awarded to Glasgow Warriors from the scrum. So the change of plan, they were looking to attack down the left. Duncan Weir will just send this ball into the corner down the Warriors' right hand touchline, the stand side of the pitch. Catches that nicely, just punches it into touch about 10 metres or so out from the Bears try line.
Yeah, and so you think Boroughmuir maybe have a chance to launch an attack from the halfway line, but a couple of moments later they're back defending their own try line. The Warriors looking to get another score on this side of half time.
In, guys.
Fraser again, the man to throw in. Once more, Samuel is trying to shift the point of attack there, hands it down to the front of the line out, and again gathering some momentum, crabbing sideways now, that ball goes down. The referee, no hesitation there in awarding the penalty try, taken down illegally by Boroughmuir Bears, and the referee, Ian Kenny, was across under the post, so no need for the conversion. And once more, the Warriors pack flexing their muscles.
Yeah, flexing it in a really smart way. Just you identified Bruce just shifting the point of contact. So as they win the line out, they just move the ball down to the front of the line out, and Boroughmuir don't have their defence set there. They're thinking that Warriors are going to drive slightly further back. As a result, it's almost unopposed to start with. And the only way, again, great take from Bears on the restart.
Joe Jenkins showing great athleticism to go through and gather that one. It's a rare attacking opportunity for the Bears. Carmichael takes it into contact, and the Warriors defence up quickly, just making that pass difficult. So Quinlan tries to miss out 2 or 3 players out to Mason Cullen, returning to the pitch after his 10-minute break. That ball goes into touch over on the far side. The Warriors haven't had to do an awful lot of defending, but when they have, they come up quickly and they do put a huge amount of pressure on the Bears.
Yeah, and that's where you understand Mason Cullen trying to chip past his opposite man and keep the attack going, but actually from a Bears point of view, just keep a hold of the ball, try and get through a few phases rather than the high risk play on that occasion, just as it is Warriors now back on the front foot. Big carry from Gregor Brown.
Yeah, off the top from Millar, and Brown used as the battering ram. Kennedy just looking a little lost for a second. Just gives the ball to Weir. Thinks he sees space in behind, but it's covered well by Callum Ram, who takes the ball just outside his 22. Thought about kicking, takes the ball into contact. Good work there. He's just let go of the ball, get back up and buy himself a little bit of time. Tristan Andrews this time takes the ball cleanly out in the midfield, and then the Bears change of direction back towards the stand side of the pitch, and there was a hint of an overlap and some space there. That's a good burst there though by Mason Cullen. Chips the ball through again, pulls the jersey there of Christian Townsend, who was going to beat him to the ball. The referee, Ian Kenny, saw it and awards the penalty to the Warriors.
Yeah, he just couldn't help himself, could he, Mason Cullen, that he'd done so well, and he bounced through a couple of tackles and great pace off the mark to keep going. And you think actually on this occasion the chip kick is the right option.
I like that little black line.
Townsend does really well to get back in front of him. The frustration of Cullen, I think, just can't help himself but have a little tug on Townsend's shirt. Another Boroughmuir attack comes to nothing.
Fraser in again, a little bit of a loose pass off the top by Max Williamson, bounces up nicely though for Kennedy. And once more the Warriors getting that ball across to the far side quickly. Logan Jarvie popping up again on his opposite wing, switch of direction again for Kennedy. It's up to fullback Christian Townsend, who's played a lot of rugby at fly half. A referee says the Warriors guilty of holding on this occasion, so penalty to the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears will be quite content with some of their breakdown work. I think that's maybe the 3rd or 4th penalty they've won, just contesting Warriors' possession. The flip side of that is that Glasgow will be disappointed that they're getting turned over at the breakdown, especially in those wide channels when they're looking to make some yards. They've had a fair amount of success on occasion out there. Not this time, and Boroughmuir, just to try and get accuracy, get through a couple of phases, start asking a few questions of this Warriors defence.
Corey Tate again finds his captain Craig Keddy at the front. Andrews once more crashes into contact, takes play up over halfway. Keddy, little no look tip on pass, and the Bears make another 2 or 3 metres. Back it comes for Rory Swan. It's a bit of a late hit there on, just trying to see who that is. I think that's Scott Robson, inside centre. Gets back up, that's his scrum half, kicked through by Tristan Andrews, but it's with Kakasau Over on the far side of the pitch, he's looked dangerous. Once more skips through a couple of tackles, dragged down on the Warriors 10-metre line. It's been snapped up by the Bears, and away goes Jack Fisher. Brought to deck inside the Warriors 22. Kick through again. Now who will this bounce up for? It's being chased by Mason Cullen.
Try.
And the try has been given. So Mason Cullen does win the foot race, touches that one down. Great work by the right wing. And that came from Warriors possession, turned over by the Bears, and they've scored a try from nothing.
Yeah, excellent work, Boroughmuir Bears, at just disrupting Warriors' ball at the back of the breakdown. That Sean Kennedy couldn't get the ball away, and the grubber kick through. It was really well executed. And Mason Cullen just beats Duncan Weir to the touchdown. I think it's was it Duncan? Scott Robson that put the little grubber kick in. It's just perfectly weighted.
Yeah, this is time off.
Trying to make amends for his earlier yellow card.
Well, the Bears will, not saying that will have given them hope. It's 35 points to 5, but I think you've got to say they deserve that for the effort that's gone into this first half. It's us into injury time at the end of the first half here at Meggetland. So the last action of the half will be Tom Quinlan's conversion. And way over on the far side of the pitch, can be in a much more difficult position for the Irishman. Perfect conditions here, well, for everybody really, but certainly the kickers. No wind at all. And didn't catch that one quite right at all, just faded across in front of the uprights, and with that, referee Ian Kenny does blow for half time. It's Boroughmuir Bears 5, Glasgow Warriors A 35. Certainly an entertaining first half here at Meggetland. And it took us, you see confirmation of the half-time score there, 35 points to 5. So first try scored, the game was only a minute old, and it was Gregor Brown, Glasgow Warriors number 8, who scored this one. It came from the line out, initially defended well by the Bears, but the Warriors pack just too powerful.
Yeah, and the fact that it was from the first kick-off of the game, Warriors just exploding into action, catching Boroughmuir Bears a little bit cold, maybe not expecting them to attack with such intensity, and it took a while before we got the second try, but it's a great finish from Ali Millar, that step off the right, and then the power and the pace to get away the Boroughmuir Bears defence. And it sort of almost opened the floodgates for a period in that first half, because Warriors were scoring at will thereafter, looking really clinical. Some of the play that they had was real quality stuff.
Great line there by Millar, both converted by Weir, and then the third try, Angus Fraser again over in that far corner from the line out.
Yeah, wash, rinse, repeat. We've seen this before from Glasgow Warriors, and Angus Fraser doing what Fraser Brown did last week, what Johnny Matthews did 5 times a couple of weeks ago, and just again it's the full forward pack that deserve the plaudits and the credit for that try. Angus Fraser at the back of it's the man that grounds the ball, and then it's a fantastic line here from Ewan Ferry coming from off the side of the screen. He's coming out and then catching the Boroughmuir Bears defence, that they're not expecting someone from that line running at that pace, and he's just in a one-on-one tackle, I think, there with Kerr Johnson. It's a big ask for anyone to stop a big Ewan Ferry that close to the line.
Yeah, you can see the defence naturally looking in towards the breakdown. He just comes from their blind side and don't see him coming. And then the fifth try for the Warriors was a penalty try. Again, from the line out, they just tried something different, dropped the ball down to the front, and as the Maul picked up momentum, it was dragged down illegally by Boroughmuir Bears, and referee Ian Kenny awards the penalty try, so no need for the conversion. We're impeccable with the other 4.
I hadn't realised there was another yellow card at the line out Maul, the penalty try as well, but that didn't stop Boroughmuir Bears, who got the last say of the half, and important for them, for their kind of confidence and belief going into half time, recognising where the space is off a turnover. Excellent execution of the grubber. A bit of a sore one for Mason Cullen as he got the ball down, but he did really well to score that try and get Boroughmuir Bears on the scoreboard.
So hugely entertaining first half, high scoring. 6 tries, 5 for Glasgow Warriors, but the Bears finishing the first half on a high with a try for Mason Cullen. And you can see on your screen there confirmation of the half-time score. It's Boroughmuir Bears 5, Glasgow Warriors A 35. Welcome back to Meggetland for the second half of this, our final game of the weekend, our second round of fixtures in this FOSROC Super Series Sprint. And Glasgow Warriors back out on the park, just waiting on the home side. The Boroughmuir Bears, a quick reminder, you can see the scoreline there, Boroughmuir Bears 5, Glasgow Warriors 35. The Warriors scoring their first try a minute into the game. It took them 20 minutes to get their second try, then rather ran away with it before Mason Colin with a solitary try for Boroughmuir Bears just on the stroke of half time. And Colin Gregor has rejoined me, a former Glasgow Warrior. We're across having a quick chat with the Warriors coaching team. Were they happy with what they saw in that first half?
Yeah, I think on the whole they were. I was just reminiscing with Pete Horn. I think first time he wore a Glasgow Warriors strip was at Meggetland in a game against Edinburgh backup, and I think he was a Howe Fife boy at the time and set the field alight, and the rest is history, as it were. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the next 5 minutes or so go. Just 5-10 minutes to see are Boroughmuir buoyed by that score that they got just before half time. Are the Warriors going to kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit, having such a healthy, or are they going to go all guns blazing and really try and make a statement score here?
It'll be the Warriors and Duncan Weir, 30 times capped standoff. I said earlier how experienced they are. He's alongside Sean Kennedy, both 31 years old now. The rest of that Warriors backline has got a very youthful experience, started with 4 players who played for Scotland under-20s this season, and one Christian Townsend who played last year. 2 18-year-old wingers who have shown up very well in that first half. But it's Tristan Andrews who takes the ball for Boroughmuir Bears from the restart. Takes play forward. That's a little chip over the top by Rory Swan. Bounces up nicely for Joe Jenkins. It's twice he's taken a ball on the run out in front of Glasgow Warriors players, and what the Bears trying to do to the Warriors, what they had done to them in that first half, and just play the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, perhaps not quite as slickly, and in comes the counter ruck by the Warriors, but illegally, hands on the deck. Penalty Bears.
Yeah, good ambition from Boroughmuir off the first couple of minutes of this second half, or first minute. The clever little kick over the top, just varying their exit strategy from Rory Swan, rather than going with a big high box kick, and then, as you say, Bruce looking to then get a width to their attack. Good defence in the end from Glasgow Warriors, but they then infringe at the breakdown, hands on the ground ahead of the ball, so that's a penalty, and so Boroughmuir get the chance to launch the first meaningful attack of the half.
Corey Tate again to Keddy. He's the go-to man in that Bears line out. Struggled a little in the first half and just going to the front now. In behind the forwards, Callum Ram evades the clutches of Kennedy. It's slow coming back for Swan. Whips it away out to his open side flanker, Scott McGinley. Oh, squirts out the side of the breakdown. No, King going in to try and rescue it for Boroughmuir Bears. Great work by the former bigger man, Ian Carmichael. Caught in two minds there. And takes it into contact. Again, Murphy Walker. 2 caps for Scotland. Comes in, tries to win that ball back once more. Ram puts boot to ball. Sends that a little bit too far, taken by his opposite number, Christian Townsend. He's then dragged down inside the Warriors 22, but there's a hint of space, and away goes Sean Kennedy. Looks for support now. Offloads off the deck to Jamie Drummond. Couldn't be taken cleanly by Drummond, and once more possession. Now everybody's kicking it now. That's Max, Jack Fisher. That probably wasn't his best decision of the night, because away come the Warriors, and the new man Bogadrau accelerates up into the Bears 22, but is taken into touch again, looking dangerous when they get the ball into the wide spaces, but the Bears defence just about clinging on there.
Yeah, a bit comedy, as you say. Everyone want to get boot to ball. Is, I think, a shame for Jamie Drummond that Sean Kennedy's offload didn't go to hand.
Time off, guys. We have captain then.
In the open pastures again, and then Boroughmuir win the turnover, and I think, as you say, Jack Fisher gets a wee bit of a rush of blood to the head. Warriors launch the counter attack, which Scott Robinson does really well defensively, just to shepherd, as you say, Bogadrau to the touchline, and in the end he managed to bundle him out, so that Warriors attack comes to nothing.
Sure.
Kerry just replacing a contact lens. Of a delay in the action. It will be Corey Tate though again to throw into the line out. Replacement hooker Jerry Blythe Lafferty for the Bears. 19 years old now, I think, but returning to the bench this evening.
He had a good season last year, didn't he? So it'll be interesting to see if he gets a bit of time. Get some hands on ball.
Away go the Boroughmuir Bears, and it's Scott McGinley, who evades the clutches of a couple of would-be Warriors tacklers, and the Bears again showing ambition. Up quickly came Kakasau to try and cut that one off, couldn't quite make the tackle. It stopped the pass making it out onto the Bears wing. Tip-on pass there to Josh King, who does well in contact. Rudy Swan just weighing up his options there. Is it back to Quinlan, who sees space in behind, and that one that bounces nicely. Could work for the Bears. It will stay in the field of play. It's 5 metres away from the Warriors try line. Back it comes to Townsend again. He thought about kicking it, but whips it across to Kakasau. In go the hands from the Bears to try and turn that one over. Kennedy again, good hands there by the forwards to get the ball to Duncan Weir. Turned over though, Boroughmuir Bears. Tristan Andrews steps off his left foot. He's driven backwards. Certainly a very muscular Glasgow Warriors pack, and if they turned that one over again, the referee keeping a very close eye on that. It will come back on the Bears side. Back row pairing of McGinley and Keddy trying to combine there to get that back. Keddy has to... Well, the body's being thrown everywhere there, but Keddy has rescued the situation. And away they go again down that left touchline. Kerr Johnston not seen too much of the ball this evening. Once more Carmichael. Again, the hands come in as the Warriors try to turn this one over. Swan having to dig for it. Puts boot to ball there, and it's taken by Townsend. They call for the mark. The referee, his assistant, has got his flag up on the far side, and I think it's going to be a line out, I think, over on the far side.
Well weighted kick from Rory Swan that made Townsend take the ball rather than just letting it bounce or letting it go into touch, and as a result, I was with you, Bruce. I thought Townsend had tried to appeared not. He carries the ball into touch, which means that Boroughmuir have a chance to see if they can get a maul going, or will they try a dummy maul and just ask different questions of this Warriors defence.
Well, once more to Keddy at the front, and the Bears work the ball back to Corey Tate, the hooker. That maul not going anywhere for now, so Tate just bides his time, breaks away, once more driven back by solid Warriors defence. Comes in there from one of the Warriors players just to try and scoop that back, but it's still on the Bears side. Tip on pass by Keddy, bounced up very kindly for Tristan Andrews. And Bears number 8, Keddy once more acting as scrum half. I find it very hard going in the tight spaces, Boroughmuir Bears. And again, starting to look a bit hesitant. Carmichael there, just had a second thought. Keddy once more gets hands on the ball, off this time to Josh King. Not going anywhere, but they'll just be trying to tighten up that Warriors defence before perhaps going a little wider. Corey Tate this time, and now they go wide. Quinlan out the back to Joe Jenkins. Was through the tackle there of Ben Salmon. Back it comes a little more quickly this time for Quinlan. Tackle made by Amina Kakasau. The left winger, now Ram. He's shown up well, getting himself involved in it. First receiver this time, the Bears full-back. Once more Swan out to Joe Jenkins. Has to ghost his way through between two Warriors defenders, but once more driven back, and that ball has gone loose. Will this come back on the Warriors side? And it does indeed. Ben Salmon in possession, and the Warriors quickly reorganising themselves into an attacking formation. You can hear the calls Duncan Weir looking for this one. There's spaces out there in that Bears defence if the Warriors can get the ball back.
Ball's available, guys. No, onside.
Kennedy taking his time over this one.
Good Warriors defence though, wasn't it? Boroughmuir threw absolutely everything at them. Warriors come away with ball.
Ali Millar taking that one into contact.
High tackle, guys. Here.
Is that a high tackle? The referee awarding the penalty to the Warriors there. There's a chance for them to find some territory, but as you say, they defended well. The Boroughmuir Bears going through some phases, but being driven back on every occasion, unable to make anything of it.
Yeah, an excellent discipline from Glasgow Warriors, giving Boroughmuir nothing. And when the opportunity's there to counter Ruck, that's when they've gone at it, they've gone hard, they've forced that turnover. And then Boroughmuir infringed with a high tackle. And as a result, it's a good field position now for Glasgow Warriors, who have gone to the bench with a couple of changes.
2 and 9, guys. 2 and
Ben
9.
Afshar comes on at scrum half. Another Scotland under-20s player, replaces his captain Sean Kennedy.
Ross McKnight's come on for Duncan Weir, so it looks like Christian Townsend's going into fly half for the rest of this game.
Right, it goes quickly into the midfield, and the replacement's getting hands on the ball quickly. Christian Townsend takes that into contact. An injection of pace by Jamie Drummond, and the Warriors now up inside the Bears 22. Once more out the back, and there's space down this left touchline if they can get it there. And away it goes Kakasau. Back it comes for Afshar. Just uses the forwards this time, just inching their way forward, and Afshar sees a hint of a space around the side of the breakdown. And he made 2 or 3 metres, snuffed out by Bears, but the referee was playing an advantage. And the Bears offside, penalty Warriors.
Yeah, Afshar looking lively, coming on as replacement scrum half. Just getting a bit of tempo to that attack on occasion, then seeing a half gap and going for it. Again, Boroughmuir just can't deal with the pace, the tempo that Warriors are putting into their attack, and going offside rather, infringing, with a couple of Warriors players getting some treatment. Kakasau over near to us, and then someone else over on the far side. That's Jamie Drummond, isn't it? So they'll be hoping that he doesn't go off injured, because they've got no replacement. Moosehead on the bench. He was meant to be a replacement with Ollie Kebble starting, but he was a late withdrawal. Although we do see Lucio Sordoni, the tight head prop, stripped and ready to come on. So
he's a big lump, 3 caps for Argentina back in 2020. Played Super Rugby with the Jaguares and the Rebels in Australia. He's just looking up his coach in front of us.
Yeah, presuming he's not coming on for Kakasau on the wing, so that'd be quite something. So yeah, unfortunately for Kakazau has looked dangerous ball in hand, as you said, on a couple of occasions. Bruce is being helped from the field.
I suspect Mason Cullen's quite happy that Sardoni is not coming on in the wing. He might not be the quickest, but I wouldn't fancy dragging him down when he gets ahead of steam up.
That's for sure.
Comes Archie Smeaton, another man with Super 6 experience with the Ayrshire Bulls.
Yeah. So it looks like Ewan Ferry's going to be coming out onto this wing. So yeah, with Warriors having moments ago made their changes in their back line. So forced into an early change with Bogadrau coming on in the first 10-15 minutes for Duncan Munn.
Yes, all the Warriors backline replacements, Afshar, Bogadrau and now Ross McKnight on the field, so forced to play a forward out there, but quickly off the top and running a line there. Ben Salmon stopped about 4 metres short of the Bears try line. A loud blast in the whistle from the referee as the Bears felt they turned that one over. And once again, the penalty awarded to the Warriors.
Just interesting to see how Warriors cope with this. A little bit of disruption to their team, but yeah, I'm sure they'll come phase time. They're all just gonna be players. Oh, a wee smart little play.
It was good now. They managed to get that one down, turned over on his back there, the player that went over the try line. A referee on the spot says that one is held up, so it was inventive play by Glasgow Warriors. Couldn't quite get the ball down. Yeah,
Gregor Brown just held up the way it was. The pass inside was a little bit high for him. So we just see the replay of it here. And so in the process of catching it up high, he's bundled to the ground. It's good work from Boroughmuir Bears defence to stop him from scoring.
Josh King, I think, the man on the spot there, that stopped him getting the ball down. Ball though still with the Warriors and replacement scrum half Afshar. Now he tried to take that one quickly right in front of the referee. The ball was lost. I'm not sure if Bears infringed there, but it looks like they'll have another crack at it.
Scott McGinley just held on to the hands of Afshar so that he couldn't regather his quick tap and nullify any efforts to try and keep tempo to the attack on that occasion.
Christian Townsend in at fly half now, having replaced Duncan Weir. Townsend starting the game at fullback. And once more, well, we've got 2 tries and a penalty try from similar positions for the Warriors. Fraser the man to throw in here, go to the back of the line out this time. Down it comes, and the line out maul well set this time. Again, this will be hard for the Bears to stop. Just inching towards that try line. Over they go, up goes the referee's arm. And once more the Glasgow Warriors clinical from the line out maul. And over they go for their 6th try. It's taken them 12 minutes of the second half to get themselves across the try line. A familiar story as they go over from the line out.
Yeah, just good execution again, isn't it? The quality of the line out, the throw, the jump, the lift, and then the body positions that the forwards get themselves. Just always completely in control of that maul. Boroughmuir Bears just splinter away. And again, we'll just give it to the Warriors forward, shall we? Try and find out a name at some point, but yeah, it's difficult to tell.
It's usually the hooker, but of course the first one, it was Gregor Brown, the number 8, the man that scored from that. So we will, rather than guessing, we will wait. I suspect it probably was Angus Fraser. We'll get another closer look at the replay. For now it'll be Christian Townsend who has taken over kicking duties from Duncan Weir. Weir never missed 4 conversions. That one rattles the right hand upright. So Townsend unable to add the extras. That's 6 tries now for the Warriors, and they lead by 40 points to 5.
Couldn't live with the pressure that you put on him there, but bigging up the fact that Duncan Weir hadn't missed, as we see another replay, but still can't quite see where the ball is or who is in possession of the ball. So first score of the half for Warriors, so let's see how Boroughmuir respond to that.
14 minutes now into the second half here at Meggetland. And actually Smeaton getting involved in the action. See his mop of hair, not difficult to follow around the pitch, very physical. And goes Afshar out to Townsend. Ball out the back there to Sordoni, and away once more go the Warriors down that right hand touchline looking for support. Well, they need it. Dragged down eventually inside the Bears 22, quickly recycled and taken on by Max Williamson. You can see Ross McKnight shouting for the ball over on this left hand touchline as the Bears defence try and reorganise themselves. Instead they go down the right hand side. Once again the Bears defence just about holding on. It's driven into contact again. That's a bit more pace this time. And Millar, Afshar again. I'm being told it was number 8 scoring the last try. Gregor Brown. Can the Warriors get themselves over the try line for a 7th time this evening? A little slower coming this time. Back it comes to Williamson. Very close now. They're only a foot or so away, and they do dive over. Great work there by Ben Afshar. He saw the space, the hard work done by the forwards, and the scrum half dives over. Only 5 minutes or so after coming on to the field of play.
Yeah, and it came from the Ben Salmon break down that far side. What he did really well at the end though was he just kept a hold of the ball, realised that the pass wasn't on, there was no need to try and kick it on and score himself. Just backed his teammates to support him to get through the phases. And when the ball presented itself to Afshar, Boroughmuir's defence had been broken, couldn't get numbers round to that far side of the ruck, and he did well just to dive over, add another 5 points to the Warriors total.
And Christian Townsend adds another couple. It's Boroughmuir Bears 5, Glasgow Warriors A 47, with 16 minutes played of this second half. Quite a turnaround for the Warriors, who, remember, were beaten down at Millbrae by the Ayrshire Bulls last weekend, 29 points to 12. Boroughmuir Bears losing out up at Bridgehawk against the Stirling Wolves, 31 points to 15. I imagine Bears' heads may well be going down now.
It's also the fatigue factor as well, that the physicality that they're playing against a pro team that have played at a lot of tempo for large parts of this game. Boroughmuir have spent long periods defending. They've done really well there though, winning the turnover at the breakdown again.
Afshar, the man making the break again. He's certainly looking to get his hands on the ball and run himself.
Yeah, looking lively, looking dangerous, isn't he? So it's interesting keeping eyes on him for the next season or two.
His previous experience, the youngster in Super 6 had a season with the Southern Knights and then with the Ayrshire Bulls. Off the top there by Kerry, but it bounces kindly for Glasgow Warriors. It was the Argentinian Sordoni taking that one into contact, and then he put boot to ball, once more forcing the Bears back. That one just a little too much on it. However, the Bears might not want to touch that down for the goal line dropout, so they just send that one long, taken by McKnight. Loses his footing, but no pressure, not much of a chase there by the Bears, and McKnight makes good ground back up to the Bears 10 metre line. Now the forwards, good footwork, another 3 or 4 metres. Afshar now back to Townsend. He's got Sordoni there, instead goes in behind, and Millar didn't quite read the mind there of big second row Max Williamson. Back it comes for the Bears, and Tom Quinlan fires the pass out into the midfield, but Boroughmuir Bears is finding it hard to get any go forward at all. Quinlan had a little glance up, look for space, but does find the ball, get the ball out into the hands of Callum Ram on that left touchline, and recycled more quickly here. So the Warriors defence not able to come forward quite so quickly. Going back to Quinlan. Put boot the ball, chip that one over. Now if this one bounces nicely for Colin, well, it's been tapped forward, but no knock on by Kerr Johnston. Looks for support, gets it from Tristan Andrews, and the Boroughmuir Bears now just outside the Warriors 22. Back to Keddy. Pulls the ball back to Scott Robson. That ball's been stripped by Archie Smeaton. The referee saying no release. The Bears player getting a knee to ground, so the tackle was complete. Bodies beginning to litter the pitch here, and the pace of the game maybe taking its toll on players from both sides.
Yeah, Logan Jarvie getting a bit of treatment just in front of us, but yeah, there's a lot of hands on knees for the Boroughmuir Bears players as well. It's going to be a long last 20 minutes, or potentially could be, just because just a step up, the physicality, the tempo, the pace that Warriors have played at. So there's been plenty of positives for Boroughmuir Bears as well, though. They've acquitted themselves well on occasions. So a couple of changes are made by the Graham Sheelan, the coaches of the Bears.
It looks like Ian Carmichael has just come off.
Yeah.
Who started on the bench last week, promoted to the starting side. So it'll be Brandon Sweet who will come on and replace him. And you can see Logan Jarvie on your screen now, back up on his feet. He's shown up well. Hasn't seen quite so much of the ball in this second half so far, but certainly very lively in the first half. So Quinlan finds a touch. Up goes the flag of assistant referee Chelsea Gillespie. Colin Worsley over on the far side, assisting referee Ian Kenny tonight. And it'll be the new hooker Jerry Blythe Lafferty to throw into his first line out for the Bears. And they go long this time to Tristan Andrews. Crabbing across field. Now they get some go forward. The referee playing an advantage. It's still with Blythe Lafferty. Wrestled to deck. So all the Bears backs have a go. Well, not before Arthur Allen takes it into contact once more. The New Zealander. And back for Brodie Young, replacement scrum half for the Bears. He's been very physical tonight. Josh King, head down and charges another 2 or 3 metres forward back. Once more to Kerry, tries to tip that one on. Doesn't quite get it right, and it was intercepted by Gregor Brown. There's a brace of tries so far this evening. Penalty Bears.
Wonder if Gregor Brown fancied an 80-metre sprint as his hat trick, or if he was quite comfortable that there was no advantage for Bears. And yeah, the penalty dinked into the corner. Good chance for them to get a line-out maul going themselves. The flip side of that is a good challenge for Glasgow Warriors to defend, get their defence sorted, try and keep the Bears out.
Blythe Lafferty is a good throw in his first line out, but that one going over the top and snapped up by the Warriors, and away they go again down the right touchline, but a loose pass, and the ball still in the field of play. No, up goes Colin Worsley's flag. Again, you can see the ambition from the Warriors looking to attack from everywhere.
Yeah, just again the frustrations for Boroughmuir Bears, just the overthrow, but that's because of the pressure that Glasgow Warriors are putting on the line out. They know that it has to be right on the money. And Ewan Ferry out now, playing in the backs, not his normal habitat. Just the pass just a bit too powerful for Logan Jarvie. Counter attack comes to nothing.
So they've gone 4 in a row line out throws to Craig Keddy at the front. Tried to be a bit more ambitious, but they're going back to Keddy on that occasion, and away goes Blythe Lafferty. Keeps the ball in the field of play. Oh no, in fact up goes the flag. The young hooker tried to keep that ball alive, so it'll be a Warriors throw to the line out inside their own 22.
Warriors will just want to reassert a bit of control, a bit of dominance. In the last 5 minutes or so, Boroughmuir Bears have responded really positively after the Warriors had scored. So Glasgow just look to make sure that they get their hands back on ball and get some attack going.
Back it comes to Smeaton, who feeds Gregor Brown, cutting back in towards the breakdown, and then they put boot to ball. This will be taken by Adam Scott around about halfway. Bears having to work hard to get this ball back on their side and quickly reorganise their attack. And there is space out in the touchline. Ross McKnight knocks that one down, and I don't think the referee, well, I thought he would. Yeah, he will. He'll go to his pocket, and I think rightly so.
Don't think you can have too many arguments about that. The only dispute was whether it went forward or he knocked it back. But yeah, when you're going with one hand and the direction goes from high to low, so you're always slapping the ball down, it's difficult to put a defence for that sort of cynical player.
McKnight, who made his Super 6 debut for Watsonians last season, started last week, replaced by Mina Kakasau in the starting team this week. He's only managed 10 minutes or so before being shown a yellow card. Back with the Warriors once more, attacking down the right touchline. Just a loose pass, and maybe not quite as slick as they were in the first half.
Yeah, I like what Ewan Ferry was trying to do out there. He was trying to draw that last player in and just keep the arms free and get the offload away. But I don't think Logan Jarvie was quite on the same page as it was. The ball went to ground. Jarvie just gave a little knock on, so yeah, what could have been a promising attack has come to nothing again. So again, the replacements and things have just disrupted the flow of the game, hasn't it, a little bit? It's, both sides have kind of lost their way, lost their momentum. Just a few more errors creeping into the game.
Minio Bogadrau, who came on as a first half replacement for Duncan Munn, now coming off. So that will force another reshuffle in that Warriors backline. They're going to end up with a backline filled with forwards shortly, but away come Boroughmuir Bears, trying to get the ball wide out here. Mason Cullen, ball put through. Cullen beaten to it by Logan Jarvie. Ben Afshar looks like he will just kick this one himself, just scoops it over his left shoulder and finds a touch just down in front of us, midway between the Warriors 22 and 10 metre line.
I'm not sure Warriors have any more replacements to make for Bogadrau. Logan Jarvie does really well here to get back, gets down on ball and evades that first tackle, looks to present the ball back. It's a good clearing kick as well.
The Warriors still have 14 men on the field, and McKnight is still, you can see the graphic on your screen, still 8.5 minutes to serve on his yellow card, so they must have found a replacement somewhere. But possession with Boroughmuir Bears and replacement Arthur Allen. A couple of carries by the replacement back row. Covered the front row last week, clearly versatile, covering the middle and back row this week. It's the Bears back on halfway, and Quinlan just struggling to get much go forward. He's trying to go through the phases. Quinlan, a little dummy back inside, and out there to Jack Fisher in the second row, lurking in the wide channels. Little tip on pass there by Marcus Goodwin on in the front row now for the Bears. They've lost 10 metres or so you would think they will put boot to ball. They do indeed. Quinlan just tries to put that one over the top of Afshar, and it rolls into touch just outside the Warriors 22.
Yeah, it's basically the only option, isn't it, that Quinlan has? Even though Warriors are a man down, they're just leaving that man out of the backfield, so they've still got lots of men in the faces of Boroughmuir when they're trying to attack. So Quinlan, who just sits quite deep as a fly half, so it makes it easier for the defence to get up and at him, which it's easy to say from up here to try and get flatter, but when you've got the likes of Archie Smeaton charging at you, you can understand why he wants to give himself a little bit more time.
Taken in the middle by Samuel, been a good source of line out ball, and then clattering into contact Ali Millar, the vice captain for the Warriors. Scored a wonderful try, the second try of the game, 21 minutes into that first half, on a lovely line. Again, this game through a bit of a lull. You mentioned the replacements and what effect that might have on the game, and I think we're probably seeing what's happened when both sides make quite so many changes.
Yeah, I think so. Although some of the handling errors are unforced. It's just people switching off, maybe the concentration drop, and you do have a 47-5 lead, or you're chasing a 47-5 deficit, then yeah, things just start to go a little bit wrong. So the game is petering out, which will be a frustration for both sides. I'd like to finish games positively, just so that you've got that spring going into your step. So
Quinlan threads that one through. Now this bounces up nicely for Scott Robson. He could be over, dragged down a metre short, and the Bears will look to recycle this quickly. Keddy very close. The referee's on the spot. They're still short. The referee, has he awarded that? I think he has. And Craig Keddy, the Boroughmuir Bears captain, has gone over for their second try.
Well deserved for Keddy. He just gives us all, doesn't he, game after game. Just smart execution, just mixing things up. Quinlan with the little grubber kick through, as we just see the very end there. That I presume it's Keddy that gets the ball grounded, but yeah, the little pop off the ground from Robeson, who did really well to regather the grubber kick through, and just the momentum, gravity, whatever it might be in the end, good enough for Keddy to get the ball over the line, bang under the post, so it's a straightforward conversion.
Yep, Tom Quinlan adds the extras. We're fairly certain that it is Keddy. Initially looked like he was just short, and I'm wondering if one of the Bears forward just reached in and moved it another inch or two forward, but we think it was Craig Keddy who scored the try. That bounces back in the hands of Afshar, so the Bears will not want to concede here. I mean, just scored their second try. Nice tip on by Smeaton to Sordoni. Back it comes to Townsend. And Jarvie just looks up, sees space behind, but can't quite execute the kick. That goes Brown and tidies up for the Warriors. Lost some ground there, back towards halfway. Afshar in again, and that's a penalty. Silly by Jack Fisher. He went through and slapping the ball down, taking the arm of Afshar. And that's a penalty for the Warriors. And we'll just stick this ball in the corner. Christian Townsend just taking his time over this one. Finds a touch about 15 metres or so away from the Bears try line. And to the last 9 minutes of the game. I think that might be the first Warriors line out that's gone astray. Ball knocked on. So it'll be a scrum feed to Boroughmuir Bears. No surprise considering the players, the targets they've got in that Warriors line out, but it's been excellent tonight.
Yeah, it has. Indeed, just obviously close to the Bears try line at a number of scores, but yeah, throughout and also the defensive line out, the pressure they've put on the Boroughmuir Bears throw-ins as well. They'll be disappointed there, and again, when you've made a couple of changes when things are slightly disrupted, you've just not quite got the same flow to the game. They actually did manage to win that one, but it was just in the process of bringing it down, it did get knocked on. So Boroughmuir chance to attack from deep.
Attacking against the Warriors side with two forwards in the back line. Still trying to work out where exactly Ali Millar was lining up at inside centre. Started at 6 and Ewan Ferry, the open side flanker, now out on the wing. Boroughmuir Bears have taken play quickly up to their own 10 metre line. Back it comes to Quinlan. And feeds that one off to Arthur Allen.
Counter looks good.
Options both sides here for Boroughmuir Bears. We're having to work very hard to get that back. And in fact, the pressure at the breakdown forces the Bears to go off feet. A Warriors penalty.
Yeah, Boroughmuir, they've just got to attack from everywhere now, don't they? There's no point in kicking the ball away when you've got 7 minutes left of the game. You might as well have a crack, but makes it really difficult when you're up against this Warriors team, even though they're still got one man in the sin bin, and as you say, with a couple of forwards in the back line, but that has its own unlucky there from Quinlan, trying to keep the ball in the field of play, just adjudged to be unsuccessful. Yeah, when you Ali Millar and Ewan Ferry in the back line, it means that come breakdown time, there's opportunity to latch onto that with back rowers all across the pitch for the Warriors right now.
Gregor Hiddleston now on at hooker, former Stirling Wolves player. He finds his man in the middle of the line out, and the Warriors about 10 metres out from the Boroughmuir Bears try line. Now they get that maul moving forward. Hiddleston in control at the base, and the Warriors pack. They're going to try and go over themselves for the umpteenth occasion here. Again, just inching forward, 4 or 5 metres away now. Still Hiddleston with the ball tucked under his arm, very close now. The referee on the spot. The Bears have managed to bring that down short of the try line. The referee says side entry, so it will be a penalty to the Warriors, and I suspect we'll just stick this in the corner and have another go.
Yeah, just wondering if they fancy a tap penalty again. We did see that at one point, which led to Gregor Brown being denied a hat-trick by being held up over the line. Christian Townsend does have hand and ball in hand, so you'd expect he's just going to pop it into the corner.
Archie Smeaton a little slow to get up. He's just tying his shoelaces actually. Craig Keddy down as well. In fact, no, he's just getting himself ready in case he had a tackle to make. I think on both sides, but particularly that Boroughmuir Bears side, the players will be beginning to feel the pace here. I say beginning, probably 20 minutes ago. There, 5 minutes left in this one. We've certainly not had the tries that we were treated to in the first half. 2 for the Warriors, 1 for Boroughmuir Bears. 5 minutes left, and the Warriors get themselves across the try line here. So we expect a carbon copy of the previous attempt. 5 metres closer this time. Back it comes to Hiddleston. That ball's been dropped. So again, just not as clinical as the coaching team to our left would have hoped, and wasted opportunity.
Yeah, just the frustrations. Do we discredit Boroughmuir Bears for their defence and disrupting it? That's maybe being a little bit generous. They'll be delighted to have repelled another Warriors attack. The challenge for them and for their forward pack is they've got a scrum to face, which has not actually been all that many scrums in this second half. The Warriors will fancy having a little bit of a go at this scrum, I'm sure.
Warriors back to their full complement, and see Ross McKnight with the 23 on his back. It's the middle of your screen there. And pressure comes on at scrum time. Back it comes on the Bears side, and good work there by Robson. Drives his team forward to run it from their 22. As Colin Gregor said, no point in them doing very much else at this stage. See if they can work their way upfield. Looking for a third try. Taken into contact there by Kieran Westlake, another of their second half replacements. Tackled by Sordoni. Still with Boroughmuir Bears, their captain this time, Craig Keddy, the ball carrier. Brodie Young out to his half-back partner Tom Quinlan. Again, the Bears just struggling to get go forward. Keddy coming in on an angle just to catch the Warriors defence unawares. Ball looked to be thrown over the top, intercepted by Ross McKnight, and he's only been back on the field after his yellow card for a couple of minutes, and he goes over for the Warriors' 8th try.
Yeah, doesn't make the same mistake he made earlier when he went for the intercept with one hand. On that occasion he plucks it with 2 hands, and good pace off the mark just to get him away from any efforts for Boroughmuir might have of trying to stop him. So, and as Boroughmuir, they do try and attack, and you think, oh, they've done well to almost get on the outside, and then it's just that pass that you're just, as soon as it's left your hands, you're trying to grab it back. You know you shouldn't have given it. You should have thrown the dummy and just keep a hold of the ball, but it's too late, and it's a fairly straightforward run in for Ross McKnight, who as Warriors have done all afternoon, they've got their wingers, their outside backs up high into that Boroughmuir defensive line to make it really difficult for Boroughmuir to have any sort of width to their attack. Try and force that pass over the top, and that's one of the outcomes that if you get it wrong.
Townsend catches that one nicely, and strokes it between the uprights. It's now Boroughmuir Bears 12, Glasgow Warriors A 54.
Probably just rewards for the pressure that Warriors have exerted on Boroughmuir for the last 5-10 minutes.
About 2 minutes left in this one. We'll have to get Colin Gregor to think about his FOSROC player of the match. For now, the ball still with the Warriors, and Townsend through the hands. Jarvie again. I'd like to have seen more of him this second half. Very lively in that first half. Afshar, long ball out to Murphy Walker. He's gone the distance, gone 80. 2 caps for Scotland, played against Fiji and Argentina last November. And then, well, Warriors have done the very same and thrown an intercept pass. However, the ball knocked down this time by the Bears. I think that was one of the second rows that Williamson or Samuel. He saw that there was numbers over on the far side, tried to lob the ball over the top, intercepted by the Bears, but it is ultimately a penalty for the Warriors.
Maybe a bit harsh that that's a penalty, that just the getting a hand in the way of the pass. It did flip it up the way instead, but penalty given, so Townsend has a chance, and I'm sure Glasgow will want to score one final try within the last 30 seconds.
The Warriors from the line out. Archie Smeaton acting as scrum half. Townsend looking inside to Afshar. Ball knocked on. Hiddleston picks that one up. And with that, the referee blows for full time here at Meggetland. It finishes Boroughmuir Bears 12, Glasgow Warriors A 54. The second half not quite living up to the first half. We're still treated to 4 tries, 3 for Glasgow Warriors. It's the 1 for Boroughmuir Bears. As we'll have a look through the tries before we press Colin on his player of the match. We're about 12 minutes into the second half before Gregor Brown went over for his second try of the match.
Yeah, and again, it's just the forwards, isn't it? Just asserting their dominance through the line-out maul, which so many teams, when they're in that position, especially at professional level, when they get plenty of time together to work on how to manipulate the defence, different ways where you're going to win the line-out, and on that occasion Gregor Brown scores a try. This time it's replacement scrum half, Afshar, that just, you can see the ball on the left of the ruck there. Just Boroughmuir's defence, they've gone phase after phase of defending, that they just run out of numbers in the end. And as it is, it's pretty straightforward for Afshar. Just the ball's presented there for him, does well to pluck it, and then it's Boroughmuir's turn with a lovely grubber kick through from Quinlan off that scrum. Great pick up from Robeson, and then the wee offload to Captain Keddy, who has always knocked his pan in throughout the game, and he gets his rewards with a score, or again whether the forwards help just push the ball the last centimetre or two over the line. You see again, it's this pick up though, it does well. The ball does bounce up for him. Good cover defence from Warriors. Ewan Ferry, back rower, who was then on the wing for the last part of the game due to injuries, couldn't stop the try in the end.
Conversion by Quinlan, both conversions.
Yeah, and then it's McKnight in the end, wasn't it? Just Boroughmuir chasing the game, trying to force it, trying to get the ball on the outside. And McKnight, having seen yellow for a deliberate knock on when he was in a similar position earlier in the game, plucked that one out the air. Straightforward score for him to finish the scoring.
And Townsend added the extras there. My apologies, Quinlan didn't in fact convert Mason Cullen's first try, converted Craig Keddy's try. Townsend just missing the one conversion. We're immaculate in the first half with 4 as the players work their way off the field. You see confirmation of the final score there. Boroughmuir Bears 12, Glasgow Warriors A 54. And Colin, Gregor, tell us who your player, the FOSROC player of the match was.
Yeah, as you'd mentioned, commentary, Logan Jarvie looked really lively, especially in that first half, as did Cockasau on the other wing. I think Sean Kennedy and Duncan Weir controlled the game really well. I saw that when they went off, the experience and kind of tempo just got lost a wee bit. But throughout, he actually did score a couple of tries, and the ball carrying, the physicality of Gregor Brown, he was outstanding. So Ewan Ferry and Ali Millar, his 2 back row compadres, were also pretty good. But I think the fact that Brown got a couple of scores will just give him the benefit of the doubt. He gets player of the match.
Yes, Gregor Brown, the Glasgow Warriors number 8. Big Aberdonian. Played some rugby, I think, initially for Gordonians. And unusually coming out with tries from the line out, which you would normally expect the hooker to get. But Brown was the man that the Warriors used in that role.
Yeah, he was, yeah. And as with those sorts of tries, it is the full forward, the forward 8 that deserve it. But I think in the loose play, I think Gregor Brown, he was just the physicality that he brought, some big defensive hits, some great carries in the open field as well. So yeah, he was having played for Boroughmuir Bears a bit, and who knows, with Glasgow Warriors A and Edinburgh Rugby A only having 3 games in this Super Series, the likes of Gregor Brown might be back at Boroughmuir towards the end of this series.
Indeed, yes, Ewan Ferry and Gregor Brown and Duncan Munn, 3 players who are aligned to Boroughmuir Bears. As you say, only one more game for Glasgow Warriors, and those 3 may well feature later in the competition. Duncan Munn, however, he went off with an injury in the first half. I see him come up the steps there on crutches, so he may well be out for a little while. He's replaced by Eminio Bogadrau, a player out of GHA. 2 players, in fact, of Fijian heritage. Amina Kakisa, who played alongside each other for GHA, both still, I think, 18 years old. Lots of youth in that Glasgow Warriors backline, and playing with the confidence of youth as well. It was great to see them getting their hands on the ball, happy to have a go at the defence.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm sure Pete Horn and the Warriors coaches will have said. Look, if there's opportunity, go and express yourself, go and have a good crack at it, and just if there's opportunity, go and show what you're all about. And a lot of the Warriors players did that as well, and the Boroughmuir guys on occasion when they got a chance. Callum Ram at fullback, Mason Cullen took his try really well.
Well, we're about to get our presentation for the FOSROC player of the match. You can see on screen now the Glasgow Warriors captain, Sean Kennedy, gives the player of the match medal to a very deserving Gregor Brown. The Glasgow Warriors number 8, 2 tries for him today. That's Colin Gregor's choice. I think probably a unanimous choice up here in the commentary box for player of the match. So let's have a look at the results from earlier in the weekend. 2 games last night. You can see there Ayrshire Bulls with their second win of their campaign, having defeated Glasgow Warriors by 29 points to 12 last week. 24-13 winners over Stirling Wolves last night. And also last night, Watsonians Rugby, holders of the Sprint Series and the Championship, suffering a rare defeat against Edinburgh Rugby A. And then earlier this afternoon at Golden Acre, Heriots Rugby 36-22 victors over the Southern Knights, getting their first win of the tournament. And then the game that we have just covered now, Boroughmuir Bears 12, Glasgow Warriors A 54. Let's have a look at how that affects the league table after our first 2 rounds. So Edinburgh Rugby A topping the table on 11 points. Remember, Edinburgh Rugby A and Glasgow Warriors A will drop out of the tournaments, although they accrue points. They will only play 3 rounds, so they can't win the Super Series Sprint. But for now, Edinburgh Rugby top the table, closely followed by Ayrshire Bulls on 10, Watsonians Rugby and Stirling Wolves and Heritage Rugby all on 5. And the Warriors with 4, I think, must have 5 with a bonus point today, no doubt, picking up a bonus point with 8 tries. And then Southern Knights and Boroughmuir Bears propping up the table for now. Only 2 rounds in, but Colin already just starting to see a bit of a shape emerging there. We'll have a quick look at the matches coming up next weekend. 2 fixtures again on Friday night. Boroughmuir Bears once more here at Meggetland hosting the Ayrshire Bulls, and Stirling Wolves facing perhaps the unenviable task of Glasgow Warriors A after what we've just witnessed here.
Yeah.
And then on the Saturday afternoon, Heriot against Watsonians in an Edinburgh derby. That should be entertaining. And then at 5 o'clock, the Southern Knights against Edinburgh Rugby A. So don't forget, you can see highlights of all our games from this weekend on the Scottish Rugby website on Monday evening. And as I say, we'll be back next weekend with those 4 games in the FOSROC Super Series Sprint. Until then, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.